Hi everyone, welcome back to Nasidyanka. So I am going to begin a new series of episodes which I'm going to call A through I. So follow the number, follow the letters in this series, and I'll be releasing them every other day over the course of a few weeks. I will cover modernism, progressivism, Saint Vladimir of New York Seminary, the Paris Theological Institute, as well as the Old versus Reformed or New Orthodox Christian calendar matter, and inevitably I will touch on the subject of ecumenism. So these are very difficult subjects of conversation for the Orthodox Christians, and I had promised to you all in previous episodes to cover them at some point. This will not be the only time, but this will be short introduction. So some of you will immediately ask me two questions here. How does all this relate to Bulgarian culture, history, and faith? So much more since Nasedyanka channel is based on Bulgaria. And what right and credibility do I have to discuss all of these matters? Awesome questions. So yes, the topic relates directly to Bulgaria because the country is primarily Orthodox Christian. The Orthodox Church plays an inevitable and indelible role in our culture, history, the preservation of our culture and history, as well as politics. And the Orthodox Church has played this role throughout the centuries, not just most recently, but for centuries in a row, including the preservation and the liberation of our country. Moreover, the Orthodox Church in Bulgaria releases the information freely to the public without censorship. One of the many facts I have deep respect for and reverence for our Bulgarian Orthodox Church is actually this one. I use this as the basis of my videos resources, so I do not make up any of this information on my own. I'm not making this up. I do have a full-time job, so I don't even memorize this information. I am basically researching, I read, I translate, and then I directly speak it to you guys to make it available through my YouTube channel in the English language, which is most popular nowadays, as we know. This is the language most people speak, so thus I'm making it available in this English language to the laity. In 2016, I toured and I stayed in a few Bulgarian monasteries all by myself. It was a peak moment of my life, which I consider one of the most enriching and enlightening times for me. There, I met and spoke with Bulgarian clergy, priests, monks, and faithful of the Orthodox Christian Church who introduced me in depth into the very matters that I intend to continue to speak about here. In other words, the calendar, ecumenism, tradition, modernism, and so forth. At the time, Father Vissarion was a priest monk within the Bulgarian Orthodox Church, and he still is. Who at the time was situated in a monastery near Sofia, and he insisted to follow the old church calendar. So he has also written and published tons of amazing books on the matter in the Bulgarian language, of course. He is Bulgarian. And at the time, he gave me his personal blessing in person as well as later overseas. So that I would spread this information to the Western world. So he made me a gift at the time. It was a gift of a couple of piles of books, his own personally written and published books. And he gave me the task he said, give one of those piles to the church that you're currently attending and keep the other pile for yourself. Read it and make it available to other people, share it with other people in the Western world, because time is limited and the world is in dreadful need for knowledge of the true facts, and time is limited. So I followed through with his advice. I gave one of the piles to my priest at the time, who was serving an OCA church, and at this point I am aware that OCA by far tend to be supporters of ecumenism. That was when and where I was faced with one of the biggest oppositions of my lifetime, and I realized how serious this journey and this mission in fact is. I have come to witness ever since then and to encounter many lies and deceptions deceiving self-proclaimed Christian paths. I see their rotten fruits in the faces of victims that I serve in my other job. So, do I have the right and authority to speak? Let the wise monk priest Father Vissarion's blessing be enough as far as this matter and this question goes. I did marry somebody who went to seminary in Bulgaria, and his amount of information astonishes me as well, because it covers the exact same information that I am addressing here and which I learned in 2016. So what do you guys consider modernism? Television, computer, internet, automobiles, consumerism, feminism, liberation, liberalism, technology, medicine, education, architecture, politics. What is modern? In episodes 1 and 2, I actually spoke about the oldest European civilization and about the Thracians. In a series of episodes 10, which I labeled again subsequently by letters A, B, C, and so forth, I introduced you to top reasons why the world must know about Bulgaria. So if you're interested in these topics, please feel free to refer to those episodes in my YouTube channel. In a nutshell, Bulgaria is the cradle of the oldest European civilization. A Bulgarian was the inventor of the first computer. Ancient Bulgaria has complex systems in the sphere of archaeology, water pipes, advanced canal systems, military strategizing, science. The measuring system that the Egyptians and Sumer people used was actually invented and delivered to them from our Bulgarian proto-ancestors. Pythagoras' theorem was used long before Pythagoras was born by the Thracians. In other words, those were the inhabitants of the current Bulgarian lands. Mathematics, the oldest form of writing and literature, the Bulgarian Danube civilization, which is even older than the Thracian civilization, is the originator, all the way to the invention of the most accurate calendar in the world. Check those facts with UNESCO's record, because UNESCO has proclaimed the Bulgarian ancient calendar to be the most accurate in the world, and I will speak about this in further detail later. So when we speak of modernism, many things that we tend to imagine as modern are actually quite archaic, considering the age of ancient civilizations. What is modern? And then on the heresy of ecumenism, I will address a few topics here. And so, in this succession of videos, I will share with you 3 resources of information in depth. I trust that you all have heads upon your shoulders, which means that you can use your critical thinking, your logical thinking, and your own personal decision making to figure out the truth on your own. My goal is simply to translate and deliver the information that is little to none spoken up about in the open world. I cite my used resources in the comment section, so please always refer to those if you have further questions. I do not invent anything on my own. I use Bulgarian resources predominantly because I have dedicated this channel to Bulgaria, and the Orthodox Church is an indelible part, like I already mentioned, of the Bulgarian history and culture. So I can offer you this prompting question as you move along. In your heart of hearts, do you wish to know the true original facts about history and Orthodox Christianity, or do you prefer to follow what is mainstream and often skewed from the actual? Do you prefer to know what is real, factual, or stick to what is perceived? The choice is indeed yours. And I respect that. Where we can run into a problem, I must warn, is if we use one word and we understand two different and opposite matters, that can become deceiving to people. And this is what actually has started happening nowadays in the Orthodox and in general in the Christian world. People use the same language or same appellations and words, but they mean very different things. And then there are people who lack the knowledge, they're innocent, and they have no clue where to begin with, and they get by far easily deceived, gaslit, and manipulated by some of our leaders. And so I will cover the following 3 topics in the next number of sub-series, which I, like I said, named from letter A through letter I. I will translate and share with you an article that was written and published by Proto-Presbyter Božidar Glavev about progressivism. I will introduce you to the seminary Saint Vladimir of New York, as again another article which was published on May 23rd, 2013 by Filip Bakardziev on one of the Bulgarian Orthodox Christian websites. I will acquaint you with an article about the Paris Theological Institute, which was released in Bulgaria on December 26, 2010, and was written by Roman Vershul. And number 4, last though not least, I will open up the most difficult, perhaps, topic of conversation for modern Orthodox Christians and the Christian people in general, the calendar matter, the Orthodox calendar reform and the ancient Bulgarian calendar, which again, as mentioned, was recognized worldwide by UNESCO as the most accurate in the world. I do not adulterate the information that I share on my channel. I function as a mediator or mediation, since I translate rare articles from the Bulgarian language into English, both of which I speak, and I'm versed in both of those languages fluently. So with this, I welcome you to the upcoming episodes. Please feel welcome to join. If you have been here before, you're welcome back. If you've never heard of this before, feel free to subscribe. If you're not interested, that's completely okay. As mentioned, I respect you guys. This information is just available, so feel free to rewind it, listen to it at your own pace, because it's not widely spoken of. All my due respect and appreciations, and stay tuned. Thank you. Goodbye.